Hi friends, Mr. Nick here. Today we're going to take a look at our seedlings, and after that we're going to check on some tomato plants that I planted a few weeks ago and see how they're doing. So thanks for watching today's episode, and I'll see you inside. All right, so I have my seedlings here, and I'm going to talk about how to take care of them. But first, I just wanted to let you know that I have them all marked down here, what name each one is. I have 2 names for each kind, just in case. And all the plants going in these columns are the same. So that's how I keep track. And whenever I check my seedlings, I do 3 things. First step is just check them, take a look at them. If you have seeds growing, little plants growing, are the leaves green? Are they brown? Does it look wrinkled, or does it look like a normal plant? Just to check on how they look to see how they're doing. Second step, whenever I check on my seedlings, is to trim them down. So if you remember when we planted our tomato seeds, we planted more than one. And you do that just in case some of the seeds that you plant don't actually sprout. So sometimes more than one sprouts up, but you can only have one plant per little pod, so it has enough nutrients and space to grow. So I take my garden scissors and I go through and I actually snip usually the shorter one of the plants. Unless the plant is over to the side up against the wall of the pod, I'll take that one. Sometimes it can be a little hard. Be careful not to snip the plant that you want to keep. So this one, I'm going to wait till it grows a little bit longer or taller. And you just go through and snip the extras. Okay. So that's done. You can take the little pieces of the plants and throw them outside, or you can even leave them in the dirt. They'll just shrivel up and go away. So third step is to water. I have my watering can here, and you have to be really careful when they're in little tiny pots like this because you don't want to give it too much. So you just like that was a little too much, but it'll be okay. Just do a little bit each one with your watering can until you have all of them watered. And after you do it a few times, it'll get easier. You can just kind of spread them with a little bit of water. Okay, so we've checked on our seedlings today, and we will do more of that as time goes on so you guys can see these grow. So here I have some stuff related to tomatoes. We planted some tomato seeds last week, and I have those 3 here. As you can see, they're really tiny, and they're just starting to sprout. There's the leaves here. Each has 2 leaves and 1 stem. And you can see on here too that the seed is still on top. The leaves are pushing the seed out, and this one will look like this one tomorrow probably. So this is the first stage. They're tiny and they're little seedlings. Then I have some tomatoes that I planted earlier before I planted these that are a little bit bigger. So these have the stem, and then they have a bunch of different leaves on it. These were its first leaves, and then it sprouted these other tomato leaves. So we have this dirt, growing in dirt, stem, and then a bunch of leaves. And then eventually, later on in the summer, you will have tomatoes. And they will grow like this on the vine. So these plants will be taller than me and have big vines that can carry the weight of 4 tomatoes. So now, as the garden season goes on, you have more knowledge about tomatoes and the different parts of the plant, and we can move forward learning together and watching them grow. All right, so that's it for today. Thanks for helping me check on our seedlings, and for taking a look at the tomato plants and watching them grow with me. Next episode, we are going to talk about transplanting our plants, which means moving them into a bigger pot. And we'll also talk about working on our trellises again. If you remember, this is a TP trellis, and we have some peas that are starting to sprout up. And these little guys need something to grab onto so they can grow tall, almost as tall as this TP here. And next week I will show you how to do that. So be sure to ask an adult to follow my channel, and we'll see you next week. Happy gardening.
Action.
Oh my goodness, yeah, okay. Did I do it again? Did you miss it?
A little lower.
Okay.
Action.
Hi friends, Mr. Nick here. I'm out in my backyard. I have my garden behind me. Nope, that didn't work. I don't know why I did that. It wasn't working. Okay, so thanks for helping me check out the seedlings. And for, what else do we do? Okay, hold on.
That would be a great blooper.
That would be.